up? It is Raphael with NBA Draft Junkies. Another video for you today. The prospect that I'll be covering is Scottie Barnes from Florida State. Now, I've been paying attention to a lot of the mock drafts out there, and for the most part, everyone's top 5 is pretty much the same, with Cade Cunningham, Evan Mobley, Jalen Green, Jalen Suggs, and Jonathan Kuminga. Barnes seems to be falling right outside the top 5, except for a few exceptions. But for the most part, he's in the range of going number 6 or even number 7. So I decided to do a breakdown on Barnes, who I think is one of the most unique prospects in this draft. But before I get into the video, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notification button and like, comment, share, whatever. Enjoy the content. Once again, this is Raphael with NBA Draft Junkies. Enjoy this video on Scottie Barnes. What makes Scottie Barnes such a unique prospect is he's more of a playmaker and ball mover than scorer. In my opinion, defense is ahead of his offense right now, but it is his passing instincts and feel for the game that has him projected right outside of the top 5 in most big boards and mock drafts. Barnes has a high basketball IQ and makes quick decisions when he sees a hole or a gap in the defense. As you see here, watch him whip this no-look pass between defenders for an easy dunk. Listed at 6'9", 227 pounds, he's an advanced ball handler and has the strength to bully weaker opponents. Here's an example of him punishing a smaller defender. Whoops, get off me. And watch as he draws 3 defenders in the paint and throws a perfect wraparound pass for a layup. Barnes also does a good job of locating open shooters and delivering passes that are on time and on target and hitting them right in the shooting pocket.
Barnes has had some nice dishes tonight. He gets another one over on the rim. And the three-pointer.
I wouldn't necessarily say this is an offensive strength right now because Barnes only scored 6 points on post-ups this season. But if he ever developed into a post presence, I think he would be a great passer out of the post.
This guy in the league, rookie of the year in the ACC and 6th man of the year. And that's Carolina just does.
All right, now let's get into transition scoring, where the majority of Barnes' possessions and points this season came from running the floor, where he shot over 66% from the field on 50 attempts, which averages out to a little over 1 point per possession. He's at his best when he's in the open floor, where he can lead the break or fill the lanes. Barnes is such a force on the defensive end, he can create his own personal fast breaks off steals and blocks.
Johnson, nothing doing. Barnes takes it up and in and a foul.
As I mentioned earlier, the majority of his points came in transition, but you can make a strong case and say that Barnes is more impactful as a transition playmaker, where he's able to turn rebounds into easy scoring opportunities for himself or for his teammates. I'm a huge fan of rebound and run threats that turn defensive stops into fast breaks. Think about how many wide open threes guys like Giannis and Ben Simmons create for their teammates. I personally believe Barnes could play a similar role as a defensive presence that thrives as a transition playmaker. Now, Scottie Barnes has a tendency to be too passive and too unselfish on offense, but he occasionally shows flashes of what he can do when he's aggressive and looking to attack the rim off the bounce. I believe with his size and ball handling, he can create mismatches all over the floor and put pressure on defenses by getting downhill, or he can make plays for others, as I've shown in earlier clips. He has the athleticism, long strides, and the strength to finish through contact at the rim, and his 62.3 field goal percentage around the basket supports my belief. I know his lack of a jump shot may limit his opportunities to drive, but I still think he could be a little bit more assertive going to the rack.
Just a decisive move and great finish inside.
That's what you're talking about.
One thing you know you're going to get from Scottie Barnes night in and night out is hustle, effort, and energy plays, especially on the offensive glass. Now, I know he did not have gaudy rebounding numbers this season, as he only had 96 rebounds. but 35 of his rebounds came on the offensive end of the floor, where he has a knack for rebounding and scoring off his own misses. Just a little over 9% of his possessions came from offensive rebound putbacks, where he converted over 63% of his 22 attempts.
The middle to Barnes. Scottie with a little baby hook. Second shot, good.
Now I want to cover a few areas of concern, red flags, or areas that I think that he needs to improve and work on this summer as he heads into his rookie year. I am a huge, big-time believer that players need to spend a lot of time working on soft touch finishes around the rim. Not every shot is going to be a layup or dunk. So being able to convert short touch shots should be an important part of Barnes' offseason program, in my humble opinion. According to Synergy, Barnes only finished 7 out of 23 floaters this season, which is only 30.4%. This makes me wonder if there's an issue with his overall touch and shooting. Speaking of shooting, this is the swing scale that I feel will determine his ceiling and if he maximizes his potential. Let's take a deeper dive into the numbers. 30.8% on catch and shoot jumpers. The numbers slightly improve, to 31% when unguarded in those catch and shoot situations. He shot 21% on jumpers off the dribble and overall 27% from three. Now, if you believe free throw percentage is the true indicator of shooting touch, Barnes only shot 62% from the foul line. Now, again, in my opinion, shooting is an area that I feel is the easiest to improve on. And I do believe Barnes will eventually develop into at least a league average shooter from three.